You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
My name's Rob. This is episode 791. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Appreciate you being with us. We know you have a lot of options, and you're here, so thank you.
Definitely thank you. Thank you again to our sponsors and those of you who support the show by writing reviews, subscribing, or even becoming Drone U members. Don't forget, if you love the show, if you find a lot of the information really helpful, well then just imagine what you're missing out of. Excuse me, FOMO, what you're fear of missing out of. That is the Drone U community, the 29 classes, the online community where you can ask questions and get answers very quickly. Check it out, droneu.education. Today, we're talking about what do you do when you finally moved on from the old drone? Should you keep it? Should you sell it? Should you just get rid of it? Well, how do you get rid of it? What about those batteries? What can you do? That's what we're going to be talking about on the show today. And speaking of batteries, special thanks to our friends at ColoradoDroneChargers.com. Why? It's very simple. Because they create amazing quad chargers for your drone batteries. Now, they're different from Energen. Don't confuse them and Energen. Energen is a portable battery system. Colorado Drone Chargers creates a wired or corded system that charges your batteries all at one time. So you're going to want to check it out, ColoradoDroneChargers.com. Use discount code DRONEU8. All right, Rob, let's hear that question.
Hi, guys. This is Robert Parson in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I sadly have a crashed drone. I crashed it several months ago, and it's been sitting in the closet, unrepairable all this time. And I was wondering what the proper methods of disposal are, since it's got all the electronics inside there, and the batteries are probably bad now also. So you can't just toss those in the trash either. So I was just wondering what the best way to throw that out is. Appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job. You have a good day.
Thank you, Robert. Thanks for getting your question in. Number one, sorry to hear that you've got a drone that is only worthy of the trash heap. That's a bummer to hear. Hopefully you've moved on to another one and you're not crashing that one. Doing all the don't crash course stuff. Becoming a great pilot, as I'm sure you are.
Could probably use some of those parts for other things, but I always keep some of those old parts around. That's just me.
Yeah, did he say what kind of drone it was?
Yeah, I
don't think he did.
No.
So, like if it's a DJI of any sort, I mean, that's probably not likely that you're going to need to reuse any of those parts, right?
Well, you could reuse some of them.
You could,
it really depends, because if you remember, the Phantom 3 and beyond, all the flight controller and everything was integrated onto one board. But before that, there was actually like a NASA flight controller that you could rip out of there and use for other things. But I mean, if he's got a good motor or two, it never hurts to have an extra motor laying around. If it is a Phantom and he's got a new Phantom,
That's true. Yeah.
If he wants to maybe build a drone. Maybe he wants to practice understanding systems. I don't know.
Maybe just tear it apart just to understand what's going on in there.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are into that.
True. Very, very, very true. As far as getting rid of the drone, what is the proper way to do it? Well, there are some things that you can do. Now, if you're trying to just throw away the batteries, which I really don't recommend, you can go to a Best Buy, and I would still recommend putting your old batteries in some sort of LiPo bag, because the way that Best Buy and other people recycle batteries is let's throw all of the batteries into a big box and call it a day and everything will be fine. If your LiPo batteries still have some juice in them, this could be problematic for you. So I would still recommend putting them in a LiPo bag and then throwing and recycling them. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is the old way that we mentioned on a show probably hundreds of episodes ago, which is you can take the battery and put it in salt water. So you literally get a bowl, probably a glass bowl, it's probably the best for you, and then fill it with water, put a little salt in there, and just throw the battery in there. I would say leave it in there for about a couple hours at least.
Yeah, I think probably me, I'd use the lazy man's version. That's hop in the car and take it down to the local recycling or hazardous waste place in your city. So Albuquerque has a place specifically for this.
Oh. Good to know.
There's a couple places. One's just Albuquerque Recycling, but then the city of Albuquerque actually has a hazardous waste drop-off that you can take stuff like this. So I would probably just, like I said, hop in the car and make it their problem because it's what they do. And that makes it very, very simple. So I would imagine every city of any size would have something like this.
That's funny because I thought you were going to go with a different route here.
Which would be?
I thought you were going to be like, I'm going to go out to 9 Mile Hill and grab my gun and put that battery on the ground and see what happens. You
Do some skeet shooting? No, I'm not going to.
Bad idea.
I'm not going to go that route. No,
this
not
behavior.
at all.
We do. I'm just kidding. We don't. For kids out there, though, really don't go out and shoot batteries because they will light on fire. And if you don't have a way to put the fire out, you could cause serious damage.
Really, really bad idea. Even if
Yeah.
you do have something to put the fire out with, don't do it.
Yeah, seriously, don't do it. Well, I think that's going to do it for our quick show today. I mean, when you're taking care of a drone, the other thing to think about, if you've got a bad drone and you're coming into a new drone, you're like, I'm going to buy a new drone, I would recommend you may want to just sell that old drone as soon as you can because the value is going to decrease over time. And if you want to recoup any costs from it, I think that's the way to do it is try it. Like, let's say the P5 comes out, May 1st. This is just hypothetical, right? I would sell my P4 Pro probably pretty fast unless I needed a backup drone. Since a couple students have taken our P4 Pro for a spin and the spin didn't work out so good.
Spun it out.
Yeah. We're probably going to be getting a new one here soon. But long and the short of it is, when those new drones come out, sell the old drones right away. That's how you're going to get the most money for it. If they're crashed like this individual's and he's just trying to get rid of his drone, I mean, we just gave you all the information that you need to know to do that. But I would think really diligently about saving your drone versus selling it. And if you're buying a used drone out there, it's really important that you know how many flights that drone has had on it. You can, take the batteries and see how many cycles each battery has had, and that's a great determinant of how many flights the drone has had. You can also pull the information off the drone, but seeing how many battery cycles the drone has had is really the easiest way to do it. But be careful because if all of the batteries aren't present, there could be a lot more life that has been used up from that drone. So you got to be careful.
If you're buying it from somebody you don't know, then is there really any way to know for sure?
Yeah, I mean, you could take the drone and upload it to air data, and you would have down to the minute how long that thing's been in the air. You could see if it's been crashed.
Can that be manipulated by the user?
Mm-mm.
It can't? Okay.
Nope.
Really quick before we let everybody go, is there anything else in the drone other than the batteries that one needs to be concerned with?
The battery and the remote.
Right. But as far as the electronics within the drone itself, I mean, there's nothing in there that's particularly hazardous, I would think.
Define hazardous.
Well, dangerous, could cause harm, like a battery, or is detrimental to the environment. Of course, in that case, detrimental to the environment, there may be stuff in there.
Yeah.
I think the bottom line is it's probably best just don't throw it in the trash.
Yeah, recycle as much as you can.
Yeah.
So find your local recycling center. I think it's really good. You can do that by Googling local recycling center. On that bombshell, that's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob.
This is Ask a Drone U.